Within this video, I'm going to discuss the question, how should teachers best develop ICT knowledge and understanding of digital natives? Firstly, it is important to consider what we mean by the term digital native. So what is a digital native and what does it mean to be one? Prensky coined the term digital native and states that our students today are native speakers of the digital language of computers, video games and the internet, and so are considered digital natives. Today's students have become digital natives as they are the first generation to grow up surrounded by technology, using computers, video games, digital cameras, mobile phones and tablets. For this generation of digital natives, the use of digital technology has been completely normalized and it is now fully integrated into their daily lives. The majority simply use technology to make their lives easier. So what about those who are not considered digital natives? Prensky refers to them as digital immigrants. Those of us who are born into the digital world but have at some point later in our lives become fascinated by and adopted any or most aspects of the new technology. Therefore, today's students are digital natives whilst their teachers are digital immigrants. So what issues does this present? Digital natives think and process information differently than the digital immigrants teaching them. Digital natives prefer to receive information fast, multitask, and think in a parallel manner. Whereas the way in which digital immigrants think reflects the way they learn and were taught. They prefer step-by-step instructions, to think about one thing at a time, and focused work. Because of these differences, there is a disconnect between digital natives and immigrants. As Prensky states, the single biggest problem facing education is that our digital immigrant instructors are struggling to teach a population that speaks an entirely new language. This is supported by the Royal Society, who carried out a study and found a widespread perspective among pupils that ICT is boring and pupils gain nothing beyond basic digital literacy skills such as how to use a word processor or a database. So how should teachers best develop ICT knowledge and understanding of digital natives? The first assumption is that digital immigrant teachers should attempt to catch up with their students. This can be in the form of ICT professional development workshops. However, to simply learn more about the technology we are attempting to teach is ineffective, as we will still be delivering lessons which are not conducive to the learning of digital natives. In order for technology to be used successfully within classrooms, it must be combined with the new type of pedagogy. Within the book Teaching Digital Natives, Prensky outlines the pedagogic approach of partnering as a way to approach teaching digital natives effectively. Partnering centers on the idea that both teachers and students have separate roles in the learning process related to technology. Pupils need to focus on using new tools, finding information, making meaning, and creating, whilst teachers focus on questioning, coaching and guiding, providing context, ensuring rigor in meaning, and ensuring quality results. Partnering does not require teachers to have a more advanced understanding of technology than the pupils. It simply requires them to structure the learning that takes place through a pupil-centered learning approach. This approach changes the way in which ICT should be taught. Rather than instructing children how to use technology through demonstration, we should allow children to explore and discover what it is they can create and achieve with technology. Partnering works with technology because it allows technology to be used, especially by students, to its fullest extent. So how will this influence my future practice? Although I'm only 20 years old and so considered a digital native, I still feel that the children I teach will be much more comfortable with the technology than I am. However, from my research into digital natives, I have learnt that my ability to use technology is not important. The way I approach teaching using technology is. I will not demonstrate how software and hardware should be used, but allow children to explore the technology to discover this themselves. This autonomy will allow them to use the technology to its full potential and will develop their ICT capability, knowledge and understanding effectively.